Hello, replay viewers. Let's let people tune on in. I am extremely excited to bring you this live stream today. But before we begin, let's let people tune in. Because hopefully this rabbit that jumped down my throat is finally gone. Good to see you, Wilbs. Driving that northern line. Welcome to 6th Avenue and 59th Streets. We're going to take a little walk through Central Park. We're going to see a brand new statue that was unveiled just a few weeks ago. Good to see you there, Nibble. Bienvenue. Joe Mooski's in the house. Good to see you, Joe. Welcome. I'll make a quick dedication to the audience right now watching, because I'm getting set up here on this bench. Everyone has an addiction, and mine is happiness to be you. Aww. What a lovely, lovely sentiment there on a bench. If you want your anything, you can write anything on a bench here in Central Park. It ranges in price anywhere from $3,000 all the way down to $300. It all depends on where you are in the park. All right, let's go into the park. Let's check out what's going on here. It's really quiet out here. Oh, I'm glad you checked that out, Joe. Thank you so much for checking out the replay. Good to see you, Chris MG. So now we got two. We're around the world officially. So everyone follow Neboul. He's a great YouTuber in the south of France. And everyone give Chris MG a follow. She's a great YouTuber in Grenada, where I heard it's hot. I heard it's hot out there in Grenada today. Here is the statue of Jose Luis Martin. He was a journalist. And this statue here depicts him getting shot on his horse in, I believe it's 1925. I think I'm wrong though. I'm blanking it on the years. Anyway, he is buried next to Fidel Castro out there in Cuba. In Santiago, Cuba. There we go. All right, so let's see what we're gonna do here. Good to see you, Dawn. Welcome. Let's look at the map here. So we're going to start out here at the 6th Avenue entrance to the park, and then we're going to make our way kind of up and over here. We're going to go to the Gatsbo Bridge, and then we'll make our way back and around the Wallman Rink. We'll see the dairy, and then we're going to make our way up to the mall, Bethesda Terrace and the Angel of the Waters fountain, and then make our way over to Alice in Wonderland, then kind of back down across by Cherry Hill over to Strawberry Fields, and then, then if I have enough energy, we may go up to Seneca Village and go exploring around. Let's see how many steps we get in today. Welcome to Central Park, America's greatest landscape architecture, piece of landscape architecture. Everything you see here is fake. If you want to make Central Park, all you need is 3.5 million cartloads of topsoil, 27,000 trees, 9,000 benches, 142 miles of drainage pipes, nearly 266 tons of gunpowder. This rock here is the only part of Central Park that's actually original, that predates the park, called Manhattan schist. That's the bedrock of Manhattan Island. We use more gunpowder in the creation of Central Park than was used in the Battle of Gettysburg. That's right. I'm giving you your walking tour again, Nibble. Hopefully the wind is not too bad. I do have a kind of a wind muff on. I'm hoping it's working. Right away, I hear somebody playing guitar. Say, oh, you want to go see Balto? We will see Balto. How about that? We will go see Balto. Absolutely. We'll go say hello to my favorite dog. IR is working, yes. We will go see Balto. Why not? That's my favorite dog in the park. So we have many statues of famous men, one statue of a famous dog, and finally a statue with some famous actual women. We're going to see a brand new statue called Monumental Women. And we're going to see Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Sojourner Truth, and what's her name? I can only get 2 out of 3 names every time. Susan B. Anthony. There we go. Susan B. Anthony. It was unveiled on the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, giving the right, or winning the right, for women to be able to vote. That's right. You need 7 thumbs up. That's right. That's right. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know you care. Let me know you like this kind of nonsense. But welcome. This is the Hallett Cove Nature area here. The signal gets a little bit dodgy in there, so we're not going to go in there, but it's a really cool nature area where see some good birding in there. See some good birding. Got to come up here to the Gatsbo Bridge. Probably most of you guys seen this in the movie Home Alone 2, where he somehow ends up running over the Gatsbo Bridge, and then he ends up in like 2 shots later. He's like all the way downtown in Washington Square Park. Makes no sense. Good to see you there, Norman. Welcome. Wow, the park is like lush. The park is lush today. A lot of people in their own little corners here. No doubt socially distancing, which is nice. Got somebody painting, it looks like. Got somebody painting here, which looks like you could also buy his paintings. That's pretty cool. Wow. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Here we are. The Gatsbo Bridge. So this replaces the original bridge that was here in 1858 that was made out of wood. The original bridge burned down. This bridge is a replacement placed here, or created here in the 1860s. Now you see all this rock here. This is all the refuse rock that they used for the construction of the park. And then we look over here. A little pond. Look like it's a little low. And then this is a famous picture right here. Looking out on 5th Avenue. The Plaza Hotel. It's right there. 432 Park Avenue. Way up there. The tallest residential high-rise in the Western Hemisphere. This is the part of the park where the mysterious Mandarin Duck used to hang around here. Mandarin Duck no doubt knew his real estate prices. And then look at that. That's my favorite spot. When I was a bike messenger, that's where I would go to cool down and eat lunch. So they got the right idea. Actually, those row of ladies, that's actually exactly where I would hang out. Would be right there. Always nice. Very nice view, right? Very famous view here. Very famous historic view here. Let's continue on. We're now going to make our way up over past the let's see what's going on at the Wallman Rink, the Kate Wallman Rink. We don't know where the Mandarin Duck is. The Mandarin Duck, as mysteriously as it appeared, it disappeared. Now the ongoing theory was that it began preening, so it was growing up, and when those type of ducks preen, they lose all their feathers and they're vulnerable. So the ongoing rumor or theory is that the duck went to either a more secluded area of the park, or maybe, they saw the Mandarin Duck out in Williamsburg at one point, so who knows? It could have gone quite some distance, and who knows? But everybody, I could assure you that a lot of people miss the Mandarin Duck. No doubt some folks have made money off that duck because it stayed at one spot in the park. But it was fun showing the Mandarin Duck last year on live stream. Pancakes and oil. No, nobody ate the Mandarin Duck. No. His meat's too gamey. It's not good. It's not good. It's a little tiny little duck too. It's tiny. It's like this. It's like a toy. It's like the size of a toy. So I don't know how much meat you could get out of that. Any turtles? We're gonna hopefully see some turtles. We're gonna hopefully see some turtles in some of the water features. You never know. No, there's nobody. There was somebody tracking the duck here in the park, but I know that when it flew over to Williamsburg, people instantly noticed it. And but who knows? We don't know where it is anymore, though. Sadly. All right. Here we are. The Kate Wallman Rink. Back in 1961, Kate Wallman donated, she's a philanthropist, she donated, like I think it's $8 million or $10 million to build the skating rink here. By the 1980s, the skating rink was in an awful shape. So businessman Donald John Trump came in 1988 and gave $11 million to fix up the ice skating rink. And he was just one caveat, can you put my name on it? But recently, the Central Park Conservancy decided to take his name off of everything. So you can't find his name here anymore. Most people do know this as the Wallman Rink. Good to see you there, Griff. As you see. And something is missing. It's summertime. There's supposed to be a small amusement park here called Victorian Gardens. But unfortunately, Victorian Gardens is closed. No more Victorian Gardens because the concessionaire here at the Wallman Rink is run by the Trump organization, and evidently they did not do a good job. So Zamperla and Victorian Gardens was like, see ya. So who knows what will come here, but some of the rides ended up in Coney Island. Forever, they're going forever. Sorry, Central Park. Let's take a look at the skyline here, brand new skyline here, Billionaires Row. So the tallest building right there, that's 432 Park Avenue. The Plaza Hotel is right there. This is the Grace building. This is the MoMA Tower right there. Really, really thin building, MoMA Tower on 53rd Street. This really thin one here, this is the thinnest skyscraper in the world. And this is called the Steinway Tower, built on the site of the former Steinway Piano Factory. And then right over here, this is 157 57th Street. And this building was under construction during Hurricane Sandy and very famously had a crane hanging over the rooftop of Carnegie Hall. And luckily it didn't break off and destroy Carnegie Hall. Mandarin Drug, yes, still has an active Twitter account. Yeah, no, has an active Twitter account, but hasn't been seen since March. Yes, correct. Did they fix the wobble? All the buildings do sway, but I think I haven't heard of any of the buildings having issues with wobbling. But here is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, currently taller than the Willis Tower in Chicago. This is the Central Park South Tower. I like to call it also the Normstrom building, because there's an 8th-floor Normstrom's in the bottom floor. And that's all residences. And then right down here, 220, this building right here, 220 Central Park South. Sting bought an apartment in that building for $51 million. And it will have the most expensive apartment in New York City is the 6th-level penthouse apartment at the very top. It's scheduled to sell for $250 million. Kind of crazy. Yeah, Essex House, very famed, storied building right there. Lots of stories in that building. But now, let's turn around here and let's see the four main original structures of Central Park. Central Park, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, Calvert Vaux. Calvert Vaux is a British-born architect. He basically designs a lot of the footpaths and the infrastructure here in the park, and some of the bridges and buildings that are here in the park. Frederick Law Olmsted, he's an American-born landscape architect. I like to say he directs the trees. In 1855, Frederick Law Olmsted invents a tree-moving machine, and this tree-moving machine was patented, very famous. A lot of cities around the world bought them. Barcelona, Paris, London. Now we have people who think this is a free walking tour, so I'm just gonna stop. So he invented a tree moving machine in 1855 The tree moving machine is so popular that many cities around the world buy their own version of the tree moving machine. For nearly 12 years, Frederick Law Olmsted rides around on a horse carriage, moving the trees to his perfect specifications. So, kind of amazing. There's an entire issue of Popular Mechanics devoted to this tree moving machine. And then off in the distance, there is the dairy, the 4 original buildings for Central Park, built in 1865. The dairy was designed by Calvert Vaux. And as the name suggests, yes, they used to sell milk and cheese products from that building. Good to see you there, Frida Laugh Now. Welcome. I know I'm stuffed with many facts, Chris. Now, if you could imagine, there used to be cows grazing on this bit of grass right here to further the illusion that they make the cheese and the milk in there, which is kind of amazing. Unfortunately, in 1890s, a listeria scare happened, and a few people got sick, and they stopped selling dairy products in that building. But today it is the Central Park gift shop, and you could buy Central Park perfume, so you could smell like Central Park. And if you want to know what Central Park smells like, it's lavender. It's lavender. Back underground for you. I'll see you later, Wilbs. Be careful out there driving the Northern Line. You read that Golden Gate Park is larger than Central Park. Well, Central Park is 343 acres large. So if it's larger than 343 acres, then it's larger than Central Park. If you're going by hectares, it's 341 hectares large. It's a 51 block deep park. Starts at 59th Street, goes all the way up to 110th Street between 8th and 5th Avenues. And actually right over there, off in that direction over there, that's where Kevin meets the bird lady in Home Alone 2. But I do not know the size of Golden Gate Park. And Central Park is not the largest park here in New York City. The largest park here in New York City is Van Cortlandt Park up in the Bronx.
Stand up, Max.
We're going to see. I will say hi to Balto for you. We will stop at the Balto statue. Here is the Chess and Checkers house. Now, in normal times, not COVID times, in normal times, during the summertime and springtime, you could borrow a chessboard or a checkers board for free right here. Now, this building was built in 1955, and has a kind of a funny story. On this area, there was a big outcropping of rock that the building is built on top of today. And this was the only formal area where children were allowed to play in the park. When Central Park opens up in 1858, there are no playgrounds here. There are no areas to play games, or you were not allowed to run on the grass. There was no running or sweating allowed in the original Central Park. But this area was the area for children to play in. And this was literally a rock with a bunch of handles in it. And they called it Kid Mountain. If you could imagine back in the 1850s and 60s, all these little children climbing all over a really dangerous rock. That's what they did back in the day. They knew how to live. Golden Gate Park is 150 acres larger, but not as interesting. That's right. So it looks like the dairy is undergoing a bit of a restoration here. So that's good. They actually restored this not that long ago, in the early 2000s, but I guess they're doing something else now. That's good. Yeah, by the 1980s, that building was covered in graffiti and not looking that great, but now it looks fantastic. The park probably has never looked this good in its entire history, to be honest. But now we're walking over 65th Street right now. One of the beauty things about Central Park is that they hide everything. Pedestrians on one level and horse carriages below us on another level. So they knew that the city was going to grow up around the park. So they created these transverses here. And there's 3 of them here in the park. But this is 65th Street. And these transverses are the only areas in the park where cars are allowed to drive. The cars are no longer allowed to go on the main drives, which is fantastic because this park is not designed for the automobile. Of course, when this park opens up, the automobile was not even invented yet. But by the 1920s, if you can imagine, automobile activists would come into the park and protest the fact that cars were not allowed here in the park. Nope, guess that's next, Griff. Griff knows his park. We're going to the grid marker right now. We're gonna go to something that's older than Central Park. That's quite older, quite much older than Central Park. Going back to 1811. We're gonna go see the last grid marker bolt right now. Looks like we got music playing. Living life here in the park. So we're here just across the way from the mall. The mall, the only straight pathway in all of Central Park. But now just behind it, off on this bluff here, or a little hill here, I don't know what you want to call this. Now, hopefully nobody's back there sleeping because it is a rather secluded area. But we're here right behind the dairy. And then let's go back to 1811. In 1811, we introduced the grid plan to the island of Manhattan. And that's that grid of streets we all know and love today, north of, what's the name of this street there? Houston Street. North of Houston Street. There's this guy named John Randall Jr. He was a land surveyor. And he came into all the major intersections of his grid plan and placed either a marble marker or a bolt in the rock to mark its place. Now, mind you, he went on private property to do this half of the time, so people would throw garbage at him and rotten fruit and whatnot. But in the 90s, people wanted to know, are any of these grid marker bolts still around? And through some research and GPS fun, they found it. 14th Street, correct, 14th Street. So here it is, folks. The last original grid marker from 1811, placed here by John Randall himself. And we know it's the marker, even though it's been cut down. We know it's the marker because it's in mercury. But this was placed here in 1811. And miraculously, it survived all the construction of the park because this is the only one left in the whole park. But right now, we are on the corner of 65th Street and 6th Avenue. When the trees aren't there, you can see how 6th Avenue lines up perfectly with this little spot here. Good to see you, Abby. Welcome to Central Park. Doing a proper walk around here today. Who knows how many hours we're going to be in here. We're going to be in here for a while. I got battery, damn it. I got battery. Now we got a band playing live. Playing some Stevie Wonder. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't this park beautiful? Hobbit train, hello? The country of Monaco is only 60%. Yes, exactly. The country of Monaco is 60% the size of Central Park. Correct. I always forget that fact. Welcome, Hobbit train. That's a fun fact right there. Wow, a lot of people over in the Sheep's Meadow. A lot of people over there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to flirt with the mall for a little bit. And we're going to make our way over to Balto and go say hello to my favorite sled dog, Balto the dog. Yeah, it's pretty busy. Jumping. A lot of people out. You know, that's one thing about this pandemic. Everyone goes to the parks and the beaches now for a bit of respite and resting. Good old Columbus right here in Literary Walk, the southern entrance to the mall. And he is surrounded by fence, no doubt, to make sure nobody vandalizes him. Oh my God, Free to Laugh Now with the $5. Thank you so much, Free to Laugh Now. Just booked a subway fare home and a couple of beers. So on this side here, we have Columbus. And on the other side where the music is, we're going to see Shakespeare with his angry, scowling face Oh, look, there's the band. There's the band, yay! And then here is the only straight pathway at all of Central Park. Here's the mall. Good to see you, 80s music fan, welcome. And we're gonna go down here in a second. First, what we're gonna do, let's go say hi to Shakespeare. Look at this angry look on Shakespeare. I always have to make fun of Shakespeare here because he looks so angry. It's like he literally is looking down on us. Look at this. You could smile, man. You're in Central Park. You could smile. Now, let's take in this scene here as we make our way over to Balto. Yes, because he's bald. Yes, because he's bald. He's angry. So we're gonna go just off the mall here, and I see our new statue over there, which we're gonna have to see. But first, let's say hello to Balto. Balto, the last lead dog in a sled dog team. That dog, Balto the dog, was the one who was the final dog to deliver the antidote to diphtheria to the children of Nome, Alaska. This endeavor took a little over 2 weeks, and they climbed over mountain ranges and there was blizzards and incredible weather conditions that this sled dog team had to endure. But they saved 220 children's lives in Nome, Alaska back in 1924. And just 10 months later, a group of basically they're businessmen, got the money together to place the statue here in the park. So let's see how Balto is doing. And don't you know the story, Abby? It was a good story. I love the story of Balto. Now his after story, after he became famous, is kind of sad. His owners kind of used him for money, and he was paraded around and quite used a bit. And his last years alive weren't exactly the most pleasant. But here he is. Here's good old Balto. Hey, Balto. See, he's smiling. Balto's always smiling because he knows he's in Central Park. Yay! How happy he is. Seen the statue so many times, and every time I get so happy. Here's the plaque if you want to read the plaque here. Dedicated to the indomitable spirit of the sled dogs that relayed the antitoxins to over 600 miles. They crossed treacherous waters through Arctic blizzards. Kind of amazing. Good old Balto. Good old Balto. Truly a New Yorker here in Central Park. All right, let's go back over to the mall, past that band playing music. And now it's time to walk down the mall. Exactly, brave dog, very nasty humans. His end story, I found out, I read a story about his last few years on Earth. And it was just so sad. They basically just toured him around and put him on display, and it was so weird. Woof indeed. Woof woof. Exactly. Unconditional love, no time can freeze. Balto, indeed. All right, let's go back over here to Literary Walk. Now we're gonna make our way into the mall. Sorry guys, no Abercrombie and Finch, no Gap. Just old statues. Well, a new statue now. These guys, like, I can't believe it's just two guys here. They sound like a whole big band. But we gotta give them $1. We gotta give them $1. They're giving us too much atmosphere here. All right. Yeah. Give these guys a shout out here. That's right, Abby. Yes, give these guys a shout out. Awesome music, guys. You guys sound like a big band over here. Thanks for the atmosphere. Here you go, guys. Give them a follow. And they got a Venmo. Give them a tip. All right. Have a good one, guys. I love New York. Okay, welcome to the mall, the only straight pathway here in Central Park. So we have here Sir Walter Scott and Robert Burns, two notable Scottish authors. Robbie Burns, wrote the song Auld Lang Syne. Feels like New Year's was about 18 years ago now. Look at this. This is most people I've seen in the park since February. This grove of trees here is one of the largest groves of great American elm trees outside of Washington, D.C. There's roughly a little under 400 elm trees in this grove. You could find 3,000 elm trees across all of Central Park. Unfortunately, the great American elm was decimated by Dutch elm's disease. A little bug came over on the ships. But luckily, the city grew around the park and kept all these trees insulated from the disease. These are original to the park, planted here in 1855. And here we have it. Finally, some women in Central Park. After all these years, I like this statue here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's true, Abby. It's true. Look at this statue. This is awesome. So, Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. This was unveiled on the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, when women finally got the right to vote. I love this. Look at this. It's like so much hidden things in this. Oh my God, this is so neat. I like how they're like planning stuff here. Like Elizabeth Cady Stanton has a pen, and Susan B. Anthony looking over, and clearly Sojourner Truth is arguing something, but oh, I'm so happy this is here. And the details, crazy on this. It's a fantastic statue. Women's rights pioneers. Long time coming. Finally, some women in the park. Some real women here in the park, and no doubt the best spot here in the mall. I think there's like paper on. Yeah, there's some kind of paper on the table. That's kind of hard to see. Yeah, there's some kind of paper on the table, but the detail's fantastic. Let's go zoom all the way in here. Try to show you guys this detail. It's fantastic. I really do love this statue. This is really great. I saw pictures of this on the way up here, and it doesn't do it justice. So great. Finally, some women on the mall. And you could actually look at this. You even have a little QR code here if you want to learn more about this statue. By Viola Davis, Jane Alexander, and Meryl Streep. Wow. And look at that, in Spanish, Zoe Saldana, America Ferrera, and Rita Moreno. Wow. We got some star power here narrating the statue here. It's very well made. Oh, absolutely. I'm so happy we have a statue of actual women here in the park. So great. Cannot wait to do a regular walking tour and show off that statue to people. Let's continue up the mall here. And that statue's only about 2 months old at this point, so. Brand new statue. As we now continue our way up the mall, the next stop we're going to make is Bethesda Terrace and Bethesda Arcade. And we're going to see the Angel of the Waters coming up next. Now, the Angel of the Waters is not a real woman. She's an angel. She is modeled after a real woman. But Angel of the Waters, when she was unveiled in 1871, quite controversial, showing a little bit too much ankle for a respectable woman. And also she's a rather ordinary looking angel, not very flamboyant. So people called her the milkmaid. You know what, usually where they go skating, over there off to the left-hand side here. Yeah, there's nobody skating over there, it looks like right now. That plane was low. I didn't even notice the plane there, Jim. Well, so far so good. But we're definitely playing some kind of drums up there, it looks like. Nice to see the artist vendors back out again. And coming up next on our right-hand side, the Nuremberg band shell, the Grateful Dead, a young Grateful Dead played there. Jimi Hendrix played there. A young and unknown Bob Dylan played there. That was right over there. They're rehabbing that too. But let's take this in for a second. Here's some drums. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this Bethesda Terrace and Bethesda Arcade in two parts. We're gonna look first from the terrace, from the terrace ledge there on the upper level. And then we'll go down through the portal into the arcade. And I will show you the Milton tiles. Yeah, lots of musicians out in the park. Actually, there's another band right over here. Yeah, look at that. Everyone's playing. Everyone's out here playing. It almost feels normal. It almost feels normal out here. It is nice to hear live music. And if you didn't catch last night's live stream, please watch last night's live stream because it was amazing hearing the brass band called Funk Rust playing in the Gowanus Canal on canoes. It was ridiculous. So check that out if you want some live music. The last song they played was kind of eerie though, because the only words of the song were, "Haven't you heard the sky is falling? Haven't you heard the sky is falling? Have you heard the sky is falling? Have you heard the sky is falling?" Anyway, let's go say hello first from up top. We'll say hello to the angel from up top first. Then we'll make our way down to the arcade. There it is, folks. The heart of Central Park. There is your Angel of the Waters fountain. Her arm is outstretched, blessing the waters of Bethesda. And no doubt when I walk through the arcade, I'm going to get a copyright. But now let's go down. Let's go. A lot of people taking pictures out here today, which is nice. Almost the very center of Manhattan Island, right there. Happy little accident. Almost the very center. Look at that sun coming through. Now we gotta walk down and around into the arcade and see the 15,000 hand-painted tiles called the Milton tiles. Milton tiles were completely refurbished in 2007, and some of the tiles that we lost were recreated in the original process that they created them back in the 1860s.
This is where the house is.
The fountain. There's my owly owl. Hello, owly owl. And then where's the witch? As you make your way around the landscape here, the carvings into sandstone reference the 4 seasons of the year. And see here, we got the witch and a pumpkin, harvest time. And as we come on, here's another owl. And then back to school time. Here's the book. Okay, so now it's always like a movie coming through here. Here we go, folks, into Bethesda Arcade. Yeah, no Halloween this year. Closest thing you got to New York live music is these guys that play buckets. Hey, better than nothing, 80s music fan. I love how, I love these days in Central Park where you just hear different music as you make your way around the park. Really is. Here's the angel. This statue here references the Gospel of John. Let's go say hello to Alice. Next stop, Alice in Wonderland. And then no special name for this body of water, just called the lake. All the large major features, water features of Central Park are all filled up with New York City tap water. So everything is completely controllable, completely, they could change it and clean it out and all that. So kind of amazing. Yeah, lots of plant. Well, those are the lilies. They always put lilies in the fountain during the summertime. So they always put some plants in there to make it look nice. So at least we got that. Of course, by the look at this. It's like a movie shot right here. This is like look at how perfect the shot is. Aww. In the background, the twin towers of the San Remo apartments. That's a book of black magic, don't touch. Okay. It's a back to school book. And you might be a little out of sync there, 80s music fan. You might want to hit that live refresh button there. So I'm pretty sure I have a good signal today, but from time to time it may drop out. Off in the distance to our left-hand side, the Loeb Boathouse. In normal times, you could rent a boat and go paddling around in the lake. And also they have gondoliers to serenade you. But unfortunately, all of that is on hold due to this lovely thing called coronavirus. All right, now we're gonna go underneath the drive here. And I want to say this is the drip rock, right? The trifoil arch. This is a trifoil arch. We're about to go underneath here. This is original to the park. And this is a very, if you're not paying attention, this stairway here is a little bit sketchy. I did have a guest once on a walking tour make a tumble down these stairs, and it was not cool. So I'm always a little bit cautious going down these steps. But now we come through the arch underneath the drive. You're more than welcome, Hobbit Train. I am a licensed New York City tour guide. So doing these live streams like this keeps my brain going, keeps me fresh. I probably took thousands of people through this park on bike and on walking tours. Thank you so much, Abby. Signal's great, awesome. Always a great tour. Always a great tour. My plans kind of fell through today, so I said, you know what, it's a beautiful day. Let me go through the park. Let me charge up my batteries and go through the park. Why not? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing out that latency there. So coming up next, we're gonna first see our good friend Hans Christian Andersen. That is 3, 2, 1. It's an eye coordination test. Oh no. Yeah, had a guest take a tumble down those stairs. Not good. They actually continued on with the tour though, which was quite amazing. 11 seconds properly. Okay, I'm okay. Awesome. So as we turn the corner here, here's our good friend Hans Christian Andersen. Good to see you, precious gem. Welcome. So in normal times, we will have people tell stories here, but unfortunately, I don't think they're doing that this summer. But here's Hans Christian Andersen with the goose, with the little goose. And what is he reading? We could see. Hey, Hans. He is reading The Ugly Duckling. It's one of my favorite pictures here. If you have kids, have your kids sit in his lap. Pretty cool, right? Right, little ducky? And then we turn around and we look out here onto the conservatory water. Most people know this as the model boat pond. But now, here comes one of my favorite stories in all of New York City. Look at this water here. This water is quite tranquil and peaceful. Look at the reflection here in the water and everything. Pretty cool. Very peaceful. Have you seen the movie Stuart Little 2? This is where they have the boat race in the movie Stuart Little 2. Just the shutter there. Come on, shutter. You could do it. There you go. So, we're going to look up at this building here with the 3 windows. Now this building over here, this is where Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis used to live. But right across the street here is we have this little apartment building here. And you see in the center window there, you see in the center window with the arch, see on top of it, there's a nest up there. Back in 1997, there was a red-tailed hawk. His name is Pale Male. And him and his first wife moved in on that ledge back in 1997, red-tailed hawk. And what happened was there was an American news broadcaster who used to live in that apartment. Her name was Paula Zahn. Her downstairs neighbor was Mary Tyler Moore. But Paula Zahn, that was Paula Zahn's apartment. and she had building management remove the nest. Now, when the nest first got placed up there, it was quite the scene. Wow, these red-tailed hawks moving into New York City, adapting to the urban environment. So no doubt there were people standing where I am standing right now, with binoculars and stuff, taking pictures, trying to get a sight of pale male. Now, when they removed the nest, they got a lot of New Yorkers very upset. And if you can imagine, for about 8-9 months, there were daily protests in front of this building to get the nest back. They then submitted a petition to the city of New York, and over 300,000 people signed a petition to get the nest placed back on that ledge. They placed the nest back on that ledge, and Pale Male and his wife came back to live there. And what's great is that Pale Male is still alive. Unfortunately, Pale Male is on his 8th or 9th wife now. All of his wives keep on dying. But Pale Male is still up there. Out of that first nesting pair of red-tailed hawks back in 1997, there are now 33 nesting pairs of red-tailed hawks in this area. And the funny thing about these red-tailed hawks is that they know their real estate, because you could find red-tailed hawks mostly along Fifth Avenue here in the park. So they like to go to the Met, they like to go to the Guggenheim, and they like to hang out on Museum Mile. Makes sense. They're outside of her apartment like the Hunchback of Notre Dame with torches, yes. Yeah, take that, Paul Lazan. Yeah, I don't know how many children his first wife had, but I know that the other pairs of red-tailed hawks, some of them are their children, and then some of them flew down here from upstate New York and the surrounding area. So some did fly into this area and begin to adapt. But this is the area where you'll find them. You have very high rollers. They know their real estate. They like Fifth Avenue, like the ducks over here that are enjoying the conservatory waters today. They're just hanging out. They're just hanging out, chilling. They got the right idea. They're barely moving. They're just floating around. They almost don't look real. The hawks do have good taste. They like I said, the hawks like to go to the Guggenheim and to the Met, and they're no doubt museum fans. But now let's make our way over to Alice in Wonderland, which is right over there. Beautiful day here in New York, I tell you what. Humidity is low, feels wonderful in the sun. And I wish there was at least one little boat in the conservatory waters today. But now in the movie Stuart Little 2, in the movie they create an arch right over there. And as you see, there is no arch there. But in the movie, they go through that arch and end up in the main lake somehow. And the boathouse across the way over there, they actually recreated that house almost in full scale in Hollywood for the movie. So, kind of amazing. But now let's walk over. Let's see how many kids are climbing all over Alice today. I always get a little nervous when I see children climb all over Alice, because she is made of brass or bronze, and she's quite slippery and rather hard, if you will. But yet I've never seen a kid take a tumble off the statue before, so. I've seen people almost slip, but but here's Alice in Wonderland, a gift to the children of the city of New York. This was a donation from George Cohen. And George Cohen, he was the one who got the money together for Shakespeare in the Park and the new theater, Shakespeare in the Park. This is a memorial to his wife, Margarita Delacourt. Sorry, George Delacourt. George Cohen's a Broadway singer. But, yay! There's Alice. One of my favorite statues. This statue was placed here in 1961. It was cast in all different pieces out in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and brought over here and kind of solidified and brought all together right here. And what's fun is, during the winter time, there's somebody that comes out and puts a little scarf around the little kitten's neck. to make sure it doesn't get cold. And George Delacourt does make an appearance in the statue. He's the Mad Hatter. As you make your way around, you get the little nursery rhymes here. Pretty cool. Yep, she's sitting on it. She's sitting on the on the statue. Let's continue on. We're now going to go back down towards the Angel of the Waters, and we're going to make our way next to the Bow Bridge. The Bow Bridge, shown in I don't know how many damn movies, but we're gonna go to the Bow Bridge, and he just had to talk about. Anyway, we're gonna go to the Bow Bridge, and then after that, Strawberry Fields. And then let's see how much energy I have when we get to Strawberry Fields, because I might want to walk further up, and we'll walk around the old Seneca Village and check out that. Go a little more uptown than normal. Actually, what we should do is, you know what? Instead of we're going to depart now. We're going to depart from the normal tour. We're going to depart from the normal tour now because I want to see Cleopatra's Needle. So let's make our way up to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And we're going to see the oldest object in New York City, Cleopatra's Needle. Let's go see Cleopatra's Needle. And then we'll get to the Bow Bridge a little bit later. Let's depart from our normal tour, because I want to do at least 3 hours today. We're only at hour number 1. I want to do like 3 hours today, so. Gonna do a thinking on the fly tour here. Just gonna evolve this tour out as much as possible here today. Exactly, there's no normal in 2020. That's right. Look at those clouds. Little cotton candy sky. Beautiful day here in New York. The pitter patter of the bicycles. You know, we should go to the castle. That's right. Belvedere Castle should be open, or the area around it should be open. I think they finished that construction. So we'll do that. That'll be a good way to cut across the park. We're going to go from the east side to the west side. But first, we shall go north to about, I want to say 82nd Street. Now, this is the hill right here where, whenever I'm doing my bike tour, this is the hill where I know that people either know or don't know how to ride a bike. It's right here. This is the first major hill of my bike tour here. You got it, Chris. We're going to go to the castle. We're going to go to the castle. We're going to say hello to the turtles in the turtle pond. And then we'll walk up to the castle and Vista Rock and get the view from up there. Planning out the tour in my head. You guys got me in full tour guide mode now. This is fantastic. And the theater is right by the water. Yes, the Delacourt Theater is right by the water. And from Vista Rock, we'll be able to see into the Delacourt Theater. So the story of Shakespeare in the Park is pretty funny. Beginning in the 1940s, there were these spontaneous performances of Shakespeare put on by the Public Theater, and spearheaded by Joseph Papp, the director and creator of the Public Theater. Now, by the 50s, these informal productions of Shakespeare on the Great Lawn will get quite big. They get quite popular. You'll easily get a couple of thousand people showing up. Well, enter Robert Moses, Robert Moses, New York City's Parks Commissioner at the time, and many other titles. He did not like everyone ruining the grass and walking all over the grass. It's good to see you, Miss Blee. So in 1959, he had Shakespeare in the Park banned from Central Park. Upset many New Yorkers. Many New Yorkers got very upset. And then George Delacorte came in. George Delacorte, the founder of Dell Publishing, came in, quite wealthy philanthropist, came in and donated the money for Shakespeare in the Park and the Delacorte Theater. Basically, Robert Moses said, if you could get the money together to build the theater, I'll let you have a space in the theater. In the park. And that's how it came out to be. So in 1962, the Delacorte Theater formally opens. And I could only imagine people who hit up Shakespeare in the Park every year are hurting for their live theater. I'm certainly hurting for live theater and music and performance and whatnot, including myself. Look at those flowers down there. Pretty. Look at all this life. A lot of life happening over here. The backyard for everyone who lives on the Upper East Side. When Frederick Lahr Olmsted and Calvert Vaux designed Central Park in the 1850s, they saw it as a way to basically have humans entertain other humans. And the idea of the park was to just literally wander around, get lost, stare at the birds, stare at life, continuing on. Oh, we have some kind of stand-up comedian over there. He's doing stand-up. I love New York. He's doing a stand-up routine. Okay. Welcome to New York, where people are doing stand-up in Central Park. Time for me to get a workout. Gotta walk up and over this hill now. I always say, the luckiest dogs in New York City come to Central Park. And the luckiest dogs in Brooklyn go to Prospect Park. I could imagine for a dog to come into Central Park where you're smelling the odors of possibly thousands of other dogs must be very overwhelming and exciting for them. Dog walking, quite lucrative here in the Upper East and Upper West Sides. Some dog walkers can easily make up to $1,000 a week just walking dogs. Oh, Zero Boy and friends have been doing stuff in the Lower East Side. Awesome. Yeah, you got to keep performing. That's the whole thing. Got to keep performing. Got to keep moving. Getting my workout. You hear me huffing and puffing. Okay. Hey, electric skateboard. Is that Casey Neistat? Going over another traverse. And there's our little entrance to get into the area for Belvedere Castle and all that good stuff. Good to see you, Spirit Vox. Welcome. All right, so we're gonna go a little uphill and then a little downhill. And then we'll say first hello. Let's say hello to King Jagiello, the Polish king, and one of my favorite statues here in Central Park. There he is. Now this statue here is a relic from the 1939-1940 World's Fair. Now, if you remember, 1939, that's when Poland ceased to exist. By the end of the World's Fair, Poland gets invaded by Germany. And the original idea behind the statue was that it was going to return to Poland, to Warsaw. But since Poland didn't exist, they kind of haphazardly placed it here in the park. But after the end of the World War, we offered the statue back to the Polish people, but they were like, nah, you guys could keep it. So here it is. Here's King Jagiello. The Grand Duke of Lithuania, 1386 to 1434. Look at that face on him. Look at that face. So freaking cool. Even the horse looks cool. With his swords held high, mighty and proud. It's always, people always wonder, like, why is that statue here in the park? And now you know. You probably wouldn't have survived. That's true, Jim. I forgot. I had a historian once tell me that, about that aspect, that the statue probably wouldn't have survived the war. So here's the turtle pond. When the park was first built, this was the lower Croton Aquifer, the first freshwater system for the city of New York. But in the 1930s, when we built the Great Lawn, which is right over there, they left this little landscaped area here and dubbed it Turtle Pond. And yes, there are turtles here in the pond. Is that a turtle eating a bagel? Is this a turtle eating a bagel? Let's see here. Look at the turtles. The turtle is eating a bagel. That's a bagel. That's totally a freaking bagel. This is such a New York moment right now. It's a bagel. It's eating a bagel. And it's going to town on it too. Only in New York. Oh, I'm so happy I could bring you a turtle eating a bagel, folks. This is a first for me too. But you can see there's lots of turtles in the turtle pond. Do not pet the turtles, please. They're very angry. Very angry, embittered turtles. Bitter turtles, New York turtles, so they will snap. Right? There's a song in there somewhere. There is. There's some fish in here too. The bagel's bigger than a turtle, I know. Or it could be a bialy. It could be a bialy. They're bringing it closer over here, so we get a good look at it. Now, there is supposedly here in the park a gigantic turtle that ate a swan recently, and there was a picture of it, and I would not be surprised if that picture was real. Some people were trying to claim the picture was fake, but there's a quite large turtle somewhere in this park that could eat swans and geese. Kind of scary. Okay, they're all going in for it too. Yay! Turtles eating bagels. Yeah, a swan, Abby, a swan, huge. There's like the picture of the turtle was scary. Like, turtle was huge. There's a massive turtle. Let's go say hello to Cleopatra's Needle now. The oldest object in all of New York City, dating back to 1450 BC, has actually nothing to do with Cleopatra because the needle was created about 3,000 years after Cleopatra died. Right over in the Rambles, the super gigantic turtle that could eat swans and geese. The picture of the turtle eating the swan is terrifying. It's the stuff of nightmares. It is. It's huge, Abby. It's huge. When I saw the picture, I was like, my God, like the turtle's head is like the size of my own head, and I have a big head. But anyway, here's Cleopatra's Needle. So now this needle has a kind of a brother needle, which is the same. So you're more than welcome, Dawn. Which is the same size and diameter as this one. That's on the Thames River in London. And then kind of the larger obelisk that was placed in Heliopolis, Alexandria. The larger obelisk is over on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. This needle came here in the 1860s. No, it was not photoshopped, Abby. It was not. I don't think it was photoshopped. I think there is a gigantic turtle somewhere here in the park. All right, folks. Here we have it. The oldest object in all of New York City. Cleopatra's Needle. Now, the story of the needle coming over here had a quite dramatic story.
More details?
We did think we might have lost it at sea when it was being transported here. But luckily it was not. But also, it was literally brought over here from the East River at 90th Street with the help of 18 horses. And how they got it here was, if you could imagine, they rolled this on massive logs. And as they rolled it, you could see how this side here is kind of rubbed away here. But this was a tribute to King Ramsay III.
The whole house of pictures is cursed.
Oh my God, they're doing like a play. This is awesome.
Has there ever been a house more wretched than the offspring of Tantalus?
This is awesome.
Tell me what's going on here.
I freaking love Central Park. Okay, let's continue on. I gotta let them read their play here in silence here. I love this place. Okay, coming up next, I'm gonna get some more exercise. I'm gonna climb up to Vista Rock now, and we're gonna make our way over to Belvedere Castle. And I may be 40 years old, but I did watch an awful lot of Sesame Street in my day. And Belvedere Castle will always be the place where the Count lives. If you ever seen those classic episodes of Sesame Street, and you wondered, what's the castle? What was the castle they're showing? It's Belvedere Castle here in Central Park. So I always expect to see the Count when I go there, saying, one turtle in Turtle Pond, ah. Oh, really? Okay, so they're capable of killing babies, but not adult swans. Okay. Well, this one, the picture I saw, 40. Yeah, I'm a baby. Yeah, what a baby, right? Yes. It's a baby. All right. Yes. Loud screaming babies, yes. King Yog Yellow. Fact checked. Oh, fact and check with three sources confirmed. Okay. There we go. Thanks, Jim. It's always good to know. I got the best audience and friends. All right. Time to get some exercise. Yeah, no fake news here. No fake news here. Only facts.
I'm not a fan.
Okay. We're now going to go up to Vista Rock. Vista Rock, the second highest part here in Central Park. The highest area in Central Park is actually not that far from here. We're going to go up to Seneca Village in a little bit. And that is the highest area here in the park. One of the highest in the whole borough of Manhattan. But time to get some exercise. The Twin Towers of the El Dorado apartments right up there. My two favorite residents of the El Dorado are Groucho Marx and Marilyn Monroe. And a whole bunch of other famous people live along the west side over there, like Sting and Bono. Robert De Niro lives near the Ghostbusters building over on 64th Street. We will see the Ghostbusters building later on in the tour. That's 55 Central Park West. How long does it take to get from one part of the park to the other? It all depends on what pathway you take, Abby. Remember that all the pathways aren't straight, so they kind of curve. So unless you take the perimeter, it could take you anywhere from about an hour all the way up to 2 hours. Degrassi, no, that was in Dallas there, Muckluck. I don't know what does it have to pertain to anything I'm talking about right now. But Degrassi Knoll is in Dallas, Texas. Here is Belvedere Castle. Belvedere Castle, built with the refuse rock that was created during the construction of Central Park, designed by Calvert Vaux in 1872. It is one of the oldest weather stations in the United States. This is where I get the exercise, right here. This last little part here is where I get the exercise. Still have pictures of Central Park from a year before I was born. Yes, that is who you think it is. Muckluck Motors out there in Oneonta. You have a motor that needs to be replaced? Then call Muckluck up there in Oneonta. Okay, Vista Rock. And here's the castle. And now we're gonna look out onto the Great Lawn. Yes. Yes. Here's a famous view here. Delacorte Theater, right down over there. So here is Turtle Pond and the Great Lawn. The Great Lawn, where Simon and Garfunkel had their reunion, where Diana Ross played in a thunderstorm. And then a couple of decades later, the Black Eyed Peas started drizzling. They canceled the concert, and a riot ensued. Yeah, it's open, Norm. It is open. Now, when Belvedere Castle is first built, it has no windows. It's just basically an ornament here in the park. So you can imagine that this is where your personal castle for a day. But a lot of people hanging out on the lawn right now. Hanging out. The Great Lawn is an engineered piece of landscape architecture. The entire glade of grass over there is on a slight slope, so that the water drains off to multiple sides and dries out, and it could be dried out within about 90 minutes. Elton John played here too. That's right. Nighty night, Abby. Thank you so much for tuning on in out there in the Netherlands. Have a great day. Be safe. But this is where the lower part of the Croton Aquifer used to be, was right here. Wasn't that Diana Ross concert amazing? July 21st, July 21st, 1983. Diana Ross comes out here and she's playing a concert, and she's about 8 songs into the concert and a massive thunderstorm hits. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. So Diana Ross starts singing the song "Reach Out and Touch Someone's Hand," and the skies open up with a torrential downpour of rain. And she plays another 8 songs in the downpouring, pouring rain. And at one point, the director of Central Park came in. He's wearing a white dress shirt, and by that point, it was completely see-through. He yells in her ear, "When you got to end this thing?" And she holds the mic away, and she goes, "Never." She plays in a Supremes medley, and then she ends the concert with, "Let's do this again tomorrow." And the next day, over 1 million people show up on the Great Lawn. So this is a Shakespeare Garden. Oh, actually, I went to the wrong terrace. We got to go down there. We're going to go to Shakespeare Garden right now as I try to figure out how to get down there. But thanks to Diana Ross, we now have the Diana Ross Playground at Central Park West and 82nd Street. To be honest, she did cause quite a lot of damage to the park doing those 2 concerts. All right, let's see the Shakespeare Garden here. So all these plants, you became a fan after that concert? Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to ever happen in New York City. Oh, look how pretty. The Shakespeare Garden. Here it is. Look at it. I always forget, look at the sundial. Look at these purples. Wow. Beautiful purples and beautiful colors. And then here we are. So all these plants here are referenced in all of Shakespeare's plays. Really pretty. Always pretty. And even through the mask, very fragrant. Always a treat walking through Shakespeare Garden. And actually, if you look really closely, there are plaques that have quotes from Shakespeare. God, they're being loud. But I shouldn't talk because I'm a loudmouth myself. Lilacs, yeah, lilacs and many other types of flowers. And then coming into view over here, we have this Swedish cottage. This is a prefabricated schoolhouse built for the 1868 is it Philadelphia or is either Philadelphia or Pittsburgh exhibition. Frederick Law Olmsted saw this. He went to the exhibition because he had a display there, and he immediately acquired it for the park. So it was brought over here after the exposition, and today this is the home for the New York City Parks Department's puppetry division. Philadelphia. Thank you so much. Yes, I always forget. It's either Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, but yeah, Philadelphia. Philadelphia Exposition of 1868. And it's prefabricated. So they basically took it all apart, brought it out here to New York, and it's been here ever since. And then we have right over there the 4 turrets of the Colonnade Apartments. That is where Diana Ross lives. They like the moss on the roof. It's a pretty house. It's a pretty house. But it's meant to look like a Swedish schoolhouse. So now we are here just outside of the Swedish Cottage. Now, something kind of scary happened right here. I don't know how many years ago now. I want to say it was maybe, when did Bono have his big bike crash? I want to say it was 5 years ago now. Maybe 4 years ago. But anyway, a few years back, Bono was riding his $3,000 road bike. Oh, Pittsburgh never had an exposition. Okay, awesome. So Bono was riding his bike here. He had one of those very expensive, very light track bikes, and he was no doubt going very fast through the park here. The New York Times called this intersection, right over there, the New York Times called that intersection the most dangerous intersection in all of Central Park, and that's because whenever Shakespeare in the Park lets out, that's where everyone crosses the street. Now, what happened was Bono was doing laps here in the park. We don't know if it was a man. We don't know if it was a woman. We know it was a human being, though. And they were in the running lane here. Bono was in the bike lane. The pedestrian or jogger moved over a lane, kind of spooked out Bono. And Bono went for a little bit of a tumble. And I could show you how far he tumbled. So he probably started to crash right about at that fire hydrant. And he went tumbling down to that tree right down there. And the sad part about that accident was that, you know, you're clipped into your bike, and he never unclipped. So he tumbled with his bike. He broke his eye socket. He punctured a lung. He broke an arm. He broke a leg. He broke a hand. We were worried that he would never be able to sing again. But luckily he recovered. And the first performance they did with Bono and U2, they played inside of the subway station over here at 34th Street, kind of as a comeback. So I got to see Bono get put into the ambulance that day. I was doing a bike tour that very day, and I didn't realize it was Bono until I got home. But that happened right there. And then over here, we're going to go over now to the Delacorte Theater. See what's cooking over here at the Delacorte. Kind of sucks this year with no live performance. There's anything I've learned because of this pandemic is humans need other humans. You could be a loner all you want. We need other humans. And when we don't have other humans, it gets a little lonely. Here comes Delacorte Theater. And actually, we're going to see one of our first vestiges of Seneca Village coming up next. So here's the Delacorte Theater. Thank you, George Delacorte, for putting up the money. Let's go say hello to Juliet really quick. Like I said, lots of statues of famous men. No statues of any actual women until recently. Here's Juliet. Go to the Turtle Pier. That's, I think, on the way back. Here's Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Very 60s style statues. Right, and this is the Tempest. Here's the Tempest. Rather abstract looking statues, and great lawn. A lot of people over there in the great lawn. A lot of life going on over there. Oh, looks like some people. So to give you an idea of where we're at, we're right near the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is right over there. We're kind of on the other side, more on the west side of the park. So here is one of the vestiges of the former Seneca Village, which was destroyed. But that old Seneca Village, this is the lower Croton Aquifer, the receiving reservoir for the Croton Aquifer. You see there was a bigger one. The bigger one still exists today. This is the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. And then this area right here, this is where the Great Lawn is today. But the village started getting populated in around 1820, 1825. And that was right around the same time where African American men could vote, but they had to own land. So some of the first people who could vote in New York State were way up here. And people moved up here because there was a lot of strife, especially during with different racial strife and bigotry, if you will, back in the city. So they came up here to just simply live their lives in peace, and became one of the first free African American villages in the United States. Hey buddy, you want to turn off that? You want to turn off that camera? He's supposed to be on a diet. Okay. I don't got no food. Yeah, we haven't eaten anything today. Now, by the 1830s, the neighborhood is very, very multiracial. A lot of poor German and Irish families began moving up there, and when they started looking into the records of the town, of the village, they noticed that there was a lot of like intermarrying, and people went to each other's like birthday parties and stuff like that, and weddings. So it was an actual great example of racial tolerance. Those are piranhas, okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk. Yes, we're going to walk underneath the arch, and we're going to make our way over to 82nd Street and Central Park West underneath the Winterdale Arch right now. And this is the bridle path right here, where you could ride a horse. And we actually, we're going to see the Diana Ross playground in a few moments here. And then I'll show you a little bit of Seneca Village. Then we'll start making our way south, make our way over to Strawberry Fields, Tavern on the Green, Ghostbusters building, and of course we end, as we always do with these tours, we're going to end at Columbus Circle. I am not going to go to Times Square today because there are too many people in Times Square, and I do not feel comfortable going there. So, sorry if you want to see Times Square. We may be not going there for a while, but I checked the Earth Cam before coming out here, and there was quite a bit of people in Times Square today, so I'm just going to avoid it. But we are going to see the sky get dark now. We're getting to transition into evening here in New York. So we got a little bit of a night walk ahead of us now. I like to once again, somebody just jamming on a guitar. This is like so New York right here. Love it. All right. So here we are, 82nd Street, Central Park West. We are now across the street from We are now across the street from the Natural History Museum. You know, where that big whale is perched on the ceiling. And then also the Rose Center for Planetary Science right across the street, right over there. But now we're going to enter the park. And then over here is the Diana Ross Playground. Thanks to Diana Ross playing in the rain, she built this playground. And then here is our map of Seneca Village. So the village was roughly in this area here. Of course, it was completely destroyed. But see, we could do a little loop here. So we're gonna do a little loop right now. And we'll check out Seneca. Let's do it. It's no longer called the Hayden Planetarium. It is the Rose Center for Planetary Science. But I remember the old Hayden Planetarium. I saw quite a few laser shows in there. Saw quite a few Grateful Dead and the Who laser shows in there. It was always fun smoking a joint and going to the Hayden Planetarium, especially those last few years before they did the remake. It was all run down and everything. It was so funny. Now, did they take away the signage? I hope they didn't take away the signage. I think this was the middle of the town has signage, like in one spot here, but I'm not seeing it. Ooh, I think they took away some of the signs. Laserium, yes. Yeah, right. Pink Floyd, The Who. I saw a Beatles one. Yeah, it was good times. All right, here's a plaque. So as you make your way around in this area here, there are plaques denoting what was in this area. So this is the Tanner's Spring. So here's the old reservoir. We're right about here. So through these small trees in a clearing is a pool of water fed by a natural spring. This was likely the source of water for Seneca Village. Access to fresh water would have been essential to the health and prosperity of the community. And the receiving reservoir was completed in 1842. So, and this is all they found here. They looked for relics, and they found little stuff like that. Unfortunately, not much stuff left from the original Seneca Village. But now go into my replays. I do a more comprehensive tour of Seneca Village in a video that's called "Looking for Coyotes in Central Park." Check it out. But what we're going to do now is, because we are running out of sunlight here, we're going to start making our way south again. I'll see you later, Griff. You're more than welcome. More than welcome for your tour. And when everything gets back to normal, you'll come back out here to New York and we'll have a beer and we'll chill out and we'll do another tour. Thanks for tuning on in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down the West Drive. And we're going to walk right down this pathway now. We're going to kind of do an express to the south now. Our next stop is going to be Strawberry Fields. So let's go down to Strawberry Fields here. "17 minutes till sunset." Thank you so much, Jim. Wow, so that means, yeah, no, we should be getting to Strawberry Fields in about 15 minutes. So we should be going to be on sunset right there. And then the lights of the city will begin to come on. Last night, had some Taco Bell. It was great. Tonight, don't know what I want to get. Definitely gonna get something though. I'm trying to keep it to just like smaller meals in the early part of the day and then one big meal at night, or almost night for me anyway. And I wish we had Pizza Hut. Gyro. I don't know if I'm in the mood for a gyro. I don't know if I'm in the mood for a gyro. But I might get a falafel. So you can see how Bono got all that speed on his bicycle. He was going down this hill here. There was an estimate that Bono was going like 35, 40 miles an hour, which on those incredibly light bikes, it's easy to hit that speed. Seeing all these runners making me a little nostalgic for the New York City Marathon, which was unfortunately canceled this year. Like everything in this year was canceled. Right over here, the main shed, the main maintenance building for Central Park. There's also another maintenance building further up on the next traverse near the Central Park police precinct. Central Park does have its own police precinct. And it's the guys who are training for tomorrow. So now let's recreate one more time Bono's infamous bike crash. He begins to tumble right here at the fire hydrant, and he tumbles. And I know this because I saw the debris, by the way. I came up and I saw the debris from his accident. It's kind of amazing. And he came to a rest right about here where this tree is. That's how much he tumbled with his bike attached to his feet. Kind of amazing. But we were worried that Bono was never going to be able to sing or play music, play guitar ever again. Good to see you there, Stuart. Welcome. Home to Central Park. Making our way over to Strawberry Fields right now. We just left Seneca Village and are now going south along the West Drive here. A lovely day to walk through the park as night begins to fade here in the city, or day begins to fade and the night begins to rise. You know, it's saying that we've been on live stream now for an hour and 44 minutes. It does not feel like that. It feels like I've only been on for like an hour. Oh, I had a number to it, right? 22nd Precinct. Central Park Precinct is 22nd Precinct. It's good to know. I gotta do a bike ride through this park. I'll take you guys on a bike ride through this park one of these days. The Twin Towers of the San Remo apartments right there. Come on, phone. Doesn't want to. 104 minutes. Awesome. The Twin Towers of the San Remo apartments. That's where Demi Moore and Bruce Willis used to live. They used to have the penthouse apartment on the northernmost tower of the complex. They lived in the penthouse on the top of the northern tower, and for a while now When Demi Moore and Bruce Willis divorced, Demi Moore got the apartment, and she's been trying to sell it for a while now. Started out at $75 million. Now she's down to, I think, $71 or $70 million. But you could rent it for the bargain basement price of $65,000 a month. A gyro with tzatziki sauce. That's right. Muck over and out. Okay, later, Muckluck. As the night begins to fall upon us here in Central Park. Oh, they got the light. Okay, so I'm gonna cross over right here. Get ready to cross over right here and get some more exercise. I get to walk up a hill now. So, have you ever seen the documentary film Imagine? This is where John and Yoko are walking here in Central Park. It's right along this pathway, right along here. Good to see you, Brian. Welcome. John and Yoko are walking right here. Then they make their way further south over to the Heckscher ball fields. And at the time, they were behind a rather ugly fence. But John Lennon fan comes running over, says, "Hey, you're John Lennon." And John Lennon goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me get your autograph." And he tries to give him something through the fence. And he goes, "Sure." And then he just walks away. It's a pretty funny scene. As we look at on the western part of the lake, right over there. Good walking. It's okay, guys. People want a free tour. People want a free tour. All right, here's the double-decker apartment of the San Remo. Time to walk up a hill. Time to get some exercise. Let's do it. Oh, this is cool. No, we gotta check this out. There it is. Exactly, gotta super chat me first. How cool is this? I love it. Those two people were like right behind me listening in. I felt like, I really did feel like they were like on a walking tour. They're like 2 feet behind me as I just talked. If you got to creep up on somebody from behind them and listen to them, you know. That's why I just stopped suddenly. And then I guess the guy in the couple, he got a little bit, he didn't want to get on the camera. Even though I motioned that he could walk in front of the camera, it's okay. But you're definitely not going to follow me around the park here and get a free tour. You got to super chat me first for that. You saw the big turtle right here the last time you saw it. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was lurking around in these waters. All right, up the hill we go. Time to get some exercise. Next stop, strawberry fields. Good to see you, Cash Roll. Welcome. We're just taking a walk through Central Park and see if anyone's playing music inside of strawberry fields right now. You hear drums, and there's so much life happening in this park here. And if anyone wants to know, if you're wondering, do I feel safe walking here in Central Park? Yes, I do. I feel perfectly safe walking here through the park, even as the sun sets. Now, hopefully they're playing some music Coming up next is going to be the Imagine Mosaic. The Imagine Mosaic, a gift from the city of Naples to the city of New York. A simple black and white tiled mosaic that spells out Imagine. The clay, the tiles were made from clay from the volcano at Pompeii. Good to see you there, Lotus. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, good. You're leaving the hospital. Well, speedy recovery. I'm happy you're getting out of the hospital there, Lotus. Thanks for tuning on in. Welcome to Strawberry Fields. So Yoko Ono had this section of the park acquired in John Lennon's memory back in 1983. And this area officially opens up as Strawberry Fields on John Lennon's 45th birthday, October 9th, 1985. Yeah, on Tuesday. Awesome. Now, when Strawberry Fields first opens, that field over there had 17 strawberry bushes from all around the world. Unfortunately, the strawberry bushes do not last very well in our cold New York City winters. And the little pigeons and the birds like eating the berries. But here it is, the Imagine Mosaic. Wish there were some flowers on it. No flowers on it today. And there's something here with a Bluetooth signal that's upsetting the gimbal right now. The gimbal is freaking out on me right now because it thinks it has some kind of external device trying to connect to it. That's kind of funny. 151 countries recognize Strawberry Fields here in New York City as an international peace garden. And coming up is the dedication plaque with all those nations of the world on it. Unfortunately, some of those nations do not exist anymore. Most notably, Yugoslavia no longer exists anymore. And they are on this plaque. Into the Manhattan schist. And now let's go to where all this music is emanating from. No doubt lots of people are playing music near the mall. I think we're going to skip the Bow Bridge and Cherry Hill. And we're going to keep on going south here. Our next stop will be the Ghostbusters building. And 55 Central Park West and Tavern on the Green coming up next. Come on. Wanted to focus. Oh yeah, I got a lot of people just playing music, and the park is definitely very alive today. I can tell you that right now. Zool, that's right, I'm going to Zool. All right. Gotta be fast there. Don't want to get hit by bicycles. So this is 72nd Street right here. So the Angel of the Waters fountain's right down over there, around the corner. As we continue along the West Drive here. Like I said, we're not that far from Robert De Niro's house. We're right down the block now from the Dakota, where John Lennon and Yoko used to live. Well, actually, Yoko still lives there. It's right back over there behind those. The Dakota Apartments, one of the oldest, it's as old as the Brooklyn Bridge. Opened up in 1884. the joggers get pretty thick down here, so I'm gonna walk over here in the pedestrian path. Try to stay out of these runners' way. Coming up next, when we get to the top of the next hill, at that next light you see up ahead, that is the finish line to the New York City Marathon. Last year, over 55,000 runners ran through all 5 boroughs of New York City. And actually, this week is the 50th anniversary of the very first running of the New York City Marathon. For the first few years of the marathon was just 4 laps here in Central Park. Yeah, me too. I'm surprised that, well, Yoko owns her apartment still in the Dakota, but she really doesn't live there on the regular. About 5 years ago, she bought a house on Bank Street in the West Village, and that's the same block that her and John Lennon moved in on back in 1971. But she has a lovely townhouse down there. But she is still the head of the co-op board in the Dakota. And Yoko has had some quite notable people. She held off some quite notable people from moving in on the Dakota, like Steve Jobs. But my favorite story, of course, is Cher. Cher tried to move into Dakota for 8 years, and every time Yoko was like, "Nope, you're not moving in." Robert De Niro also tried to move into Dakota. Robert De Niro is now down here, right over here on 64th Street. And there's a book coming out about it, awesome. Sheep's Meadow, still jumping. People still hanging out as the sun sets. She sounds Jamaican. This white woman over there, she sounds Jamaican. She has a crazy accent. Oh, I love New York. Okay. Coming into the crazy skyline view now. And we'll first talk about, since we're on this side of the street, Sheep's Meadow. As the name suggests, yes, before the days of lawnmowers, sheep used to cut the grass. And actually, Calvert Vaux and Frederick R. Olmsted actually picked out the sheep to make sure they were the perfect color white. And the sheep were here until the Great Depression, and then people were worried that people were going to eat the sheep, so the sheep were moved over to Prospect Park in Brooklyn, and then eventually in the 50s they were taken away permanently. But the Sheep's Meadow is where a German family-owned rock quarry used to be. And if you can imagine, when they built Central Park, they had to dynamite out all that rock and create this completely engineered landscape, just like the Great Lawn. The Sheep's Meadow is on a bit of a slope so that the water drains into specific areas. And this grass here is very lovingly maintained, so it does feel like you're walking on like a carpet. No dogs are allowed on the Sheep's Meadow for obvious reasons. But even with the clouds, it's a beautiful day. Now, where did the sheep live? The sheep lived right across the street over here in the sheepfold, today called Tavern on the Green. It became a restaurant back in the 1960s. And today it still is a restaurant. New owners, though. Slightly lower prices. Go to the takeout window. You could order a lot of stuff that is for a discount from the takeout window. And also there's Wi-Fi and a kind of okay beer selection in there. And then back in the background, that beautiful Art Deco structure, there is 55. There we go. 55 Central Park West. Zool Spook Central, right up there. They did recreate the top portion of the building out in Hollywood for the film, where Sigourney Weaver did her sorcery from. We're right up there. And Robert De Niro's building is on the next corner up. That one right there. This building right there. That's where Robert De Niro lives. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross the street. And I'm gonna walk into the horses, the bridle path. That's what I want to call it, the bridle path. We're coming to an end of our tour already at 2 hours and 2 minutes. 122 minutes. We've got a pretty big chunk of the park taken care of today. I have to say, we did walk quite a bit of distance here through the park. So here are some of the best bathrooms in Central Park are right here, but I think they're closed because of the COVID. But pretty nice bathrooms. And then over here, you get to see this red window here. And that's the takeout window. And you could order almost anything from the menu at a discount from that window. The window's right over there. And also, if you ever need Wi-Fi, there's really good Wi-Fi hotspot here. And then there is the Central Park Tower, Central Park South Tower, looming above us. That's Steinway Piano Factory building. So thin on the left-hand side there. Thinnest skyscraper in the world. Kind of amazing. All right. Can't believe we're almost done with our tour already. So let's see. You know, I said I wasn't going to go to Times Square, but now since we haven't hit 3 hours yet, I feel like going through Times Square. Where's the best part to see the September 11th lights? Okay, so now, unfortunately, it's good to see you, Miriam. Unfortunately, the tribute in light only happens on the night of September 11th. So it only happens on that night. So it lights from sunset, from the guy who was kneeling on the bench that I was talking to him. The tribute in light is lit up from sunset on September 11th to sunrise September 12th. If you want to see the tribute in light, 2 nights ago I did do a walking tour. So if you want to see the tribute in light from the Brooklyn Promenade, the Brooklyn Bridge, and then we walk down Broadway and we go underneath the lights and then eventually we end in Memorial Plaza, check it out. Check out my replay. But I guess we're going to do this. Let's, even though I don't want to go there, let's do Times Square. Yes, it is. It's over. They test them out about a week before September 11th. So the week leading up to September 11th, that's when you usually see them on sporadically. They test them and whatnot. So, but the best spots to view them are pretty much anywhere. Either the North Shore of Staten Island Ferry, you get some amazing shots. Of course, Brooklyn Bridge Park, the Brooklyn Promenade, Dumbo and Jane's Carousel offer fantastic views. And then in Manhattan, there's some great vantage points from City Hall Park. And of course, underneath the lights, right at the entrance of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel on Church or West Streets. But check out my replay. We did see the tribute. We went all over and saw the tribute in light from many angles. And if the tribute in light was still on, when we get to 8th Avenue and Columbus Circle, we would have been able to see them. Jersey City, another great spot to see the lights. Absolutely. On a clear night, it's kind of amazing how far back you could tilt your head and still see those lights. 88 xenon beams of light, searchlights, 8,000 watts each. Kind of amazing. You might have, if you have a view of the city, I mean, even if you don't have a view of the city, they're so bright and they go so up high in the sky that you probably did see them, Stuart. You probably did see them. Yeah, they had to have the tribute light this year. There was no way we were gonna not have the tribute. Coming to the end of our Central Park portion of our walk. Okay, so yeah, we'll walk down Broadway. To hell with it. We'll walk down Broadway and see the virtual petri dish that is Times Square. And for everyone who says I can't walk around and wear a mask, I have been walking around and wearing a mask and talking this much for the entire 2 hours and 6 minutes. For all them anti-maskers. If I could do it, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it. All right, we're gonna make our way over now to Columbus Circle. Make our way over to Columbus Circle right now. And one last story about a building. Yeah, you see them Friday when you got home? Yeah. They were on all night until sunrise. Very emotional September 11th this year because of everything going on. But here is this big tall black tower is called today's the Trump International Hotel and Tower, but its original name was the Gulf and Western Building. And the Gulf and Western Building had a bit of a problem. You see, it was one of the lightest skyscrapers ever to be constructed by man. And because it was so light, it swayed a little bit too much in the wind. And it swayed so much that people who worked on the top floors on a regular basis would get sick. In the early 1980s, when Donald Trump acquires his property, his intention is to destroy it and to build a new building. Well, zoning changed over those years, and he would only be allowed to build as tall as this building right over there. That's 15 Central Park West. That's where Denzel Washington and Melanie Griffith live. But what Donald Trump did was he hired two architects, one you never heard of and one you probably heard of. The first architect who did the exterior was the world famous, Philip Johnson. Philip Johnson did the exterior of the building, and the interior was done by New York's greatest architect you never heard of, called Costas Kondylis. Costas Kondylis basically weighed down the walls, but they put concrete in between the walls to lessen the swaying of the building, and it worked. And this has some of the best hotel rooms in the city because you cannot hear your neighbor at all. So, love to see the Columbus Circle monument. You want to see the Statue of Columbus. The Statue of Columbus placed there, and I want to say 1905 or 1915. The monument itself for Columbus was actually created by Italian immigrants. They raised the money to get the statue placed there. And historically, a long time ago, this was an area where a lot of Italians lived. Eventually, they will move further up to the Upper West Side. Great to see you, Mr. Fox. If you go to my Flickr page, flickr.com/DutchMoz, you can check out this really cool art exhibit called Discovering Columbus. And when they were cleaning the statue, they actually built an apartment around the statue with TV and everything and a couch and all. And if you want to see a really up-close view of the Columbus statue, go over to that Flickr page, and you can see some pictures I took with my big camera. Columbus Circle. And there's Columbus, right there in the middle. Let's say hello to Columbus, and then we'll make our way down Broadway here. Oh, wow, they got a band playing over there. Good night for the Moon-Venus constellation. Yeah, I gotta check that out. The Moon-Venus constellation. There's Columbus. Has our back turned to us. But there he is. And this statue too, just like the other Columbus statue in Central Park, Lots of security around it because they want to make sure nobody messes with it. There's the Sailors Monument there. All right, let's go down Broadway. That's pretty good. We got some vendors out here. Ooh, they're renting bikes. Even the bike rental's open. That's good to see. All right, now we're gonna make our way down Broadway. And we will finish in the petri dish that is Times Square. Okay, we're gonna cross 59th Street here. How long is Broadway from start to finish? Well, Broadway goes all the way up as far north as Albany. Originally called Bloomingdale Road, there is some vestige of Broadway from Albany all the way down to the Battery. So it's quite long, quite a couple of 100 miles long. And that's if you count all the roads that lead into it. But Broadway, the only street that deviates from the grid plan of 1811. Broadway, the old Indian trail put down by the Lenape, the Lenni Lenape, the original inhabitants of Manhattan Island. Manhattan, the word Manhattan is derived from a Native American name, a word which means land of many hills. That's right, Route 9A in the city. There we go. I knew it was like 9. I knew the number. Route 9. There you go. So if you follow Route 9 all the way up to Albany, you are on Broadway the whole time. Cup of Joe for you. Good to see you. Welcome to Broadway. We just finished walking through City Hall. I'm getting tired. Through Central Park. Now we're making our way down Broadway, and we're going to end in Times Square, where no doubt some CD sellers will probably be out there, and we're going to be accosted by somebody. I have a feeling. I'm worried about that. They may be really, not violent, but just nasty. That's always the case. Oh, here's the Nordstroms. We're now underneath the Central Park South Tower. Here's that 8-level Nordstroms that I was mentioning. As the evening has reared its head, we're on Billionaires Row, 57th Street. And just for Mr. Fox, here it is, Mr. Fox, your favorite, 432 Park Avenue. There it is. There's 432 Park Avenue right there. Tallest residential high-rise in the Western Hemisphere. As we wait for this light. Ooh, my gimbal battery's almost done. I'm gonna have to plug it in. Next bench I find here, I'm gonna have to plug in my gimbal. Yay! We got your 432 Park Avenue. I know you love that building. Universal Music Group right over there. Right up the block from Bad Boy Entertainment, or the former Bad Boy Entertainment. Oh, here's a table. Here's a table where I could quickly connect the battery here. Hold on, folks. I'm going to connect the battery. The gimbal battery now. Gotta connect the gimbal battery. Gotta connect the gimbal battery. Did I not bring the gimbal battery? Uh-oh. Gotta get the gimbal battery, and I got it. Let's plug you guys in. Thank you, Joe and the Juice, for providing me with a table while I plug in my gimbal battery. Damn, my monster battery is like barely used. It's great. Where's my gimbal battery? Yep, gimbal battery sold at Gimbals near you. Rut row. No, that's fine. I got the cable. Yay! Oh, there we go. Boy, I had to sneeze. All right, now I look really crazy with chew wires coming out now from me. If you go to Smithfield Hall, 138 West 25th Street, you're in front of your football club's USA Outpost. Wow. Well, I'm a little bit far away from 25th Street right now. I am up on 56th Street right now. So I'm a little ways away from there. But next time I'm in the Flatiron area, I'll take a stroll past there. All right. They said the old last surprise on Broadway. I know, exactly. The crazier I look, the more distance they give me. Exactly. They say there's always magic in the air. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat. And then it's the line I always forget. Da 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 da. Ooh, it's a unicorn. It's an electric city bike. I call electric city bikes unicorns because they're so hard to find. Oh, it's another unicorn. It's 2 unicorns. Oh my God. Electric city bikes. Da, 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 da. Coming up across the street is the Applejack Diner. You're enjoying my live stream. I'm glad you're enjoying my live stream. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash that like button. But we are out here almost every day here in New York City. Whether it be here in Manhattan or out in Brooklyn or maybe in Queens, maybe in Staten Island, maybe even the Bronx. Right across the street here, the Applejack Diner. That's where they came up with the concept for Ain't Gonna Play Sun City. Ain't gonna play Sun City. Yeah. Happened right in that building right there. That diner, which is, I can't believe it's still there. And the Applejack Diner is pretty good. Not the best, but it's pretty good. Wow, look at this outdoor dining here. Fancy here on 55th Street. Look at this. Everyone's all dressed up here. You're from the Bronx. Awesome. You should. Me too, Stuart. Me too.
This one is good, right?
Me too. Those electric city bikes are pretty badass. So here is the original home of Bad Boy Entertainment. Bad Boy Worldwide used to be right in this now completely emptied out building. But I delivered a package there when I was a bike messenger a few times. Oh yeah, me too, Joe, me too. I'm surprised that diner's been there as long as I could remember. Since I was a kid. And when did Sun City come out? Sun City came out like 1984. It is this odd moment in music activism, but it was damn good music. What is this? Oh boy. DMX troupe ask for Andy. Like a special psychic for a good price, I can pass a message. Oh, wow, okay. Well, he talks to the dead. 87. Okay, 87. All right, I was off by a few years. And here is the old CBS studio number 52, today called the Ed Sullivan Theater. Of course, that is where David Letterman has its show. This is now where Stephen Colbert has his show. But back in the day, this is where she was not, she said, Why are you filming people? She said on her bicycle, going the wrong way up a one-way bike lane. Anyway, this is where they filmed all the original episodes of The Honeymooners, was in this building right here. And this was originally a vaudeville theater built back in the early 20s. And this is where they also, of course, did the Ed Sullivan Show here. Dick Cavett Show was also filmed here when a theater was partitioned into two different smaller studios. Was right about here. But yeah, she covered her face and says, "Why you gotta be filming people?" And it's like, this is the streets, it's the public domain, and you're going the wrong way up a one-way bike lane. She shouldn't. And good thing she covered her face, because she knew she was doing something wrong. But there is no. Here's the deal, folks. There is no expectation of privacy when you're here in the streets of New York. Okay, it's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, don't go outside. It is a pandemic. Anyway, my favorite place in the world. Right down there used to be the old Roseland Ballroom. Today, it's this ugly apartment building. I miss the Roseland. I saw many a show and inhaled many a cigarette that I was not smoking in the Roseland Ballroom. Exactly. No expectation for privacy. You're here in the damn show. You're here on Broadway, for God's sake. If you're here on Broadway, there is no expectation of privacy. Sorry. And I am still waiting for the Roy Rogers to come back. This will always be a Roy Rogers. This will always be a Roy Rogers. I don't care how many different places it's been now. That will always be a Roy Rogers. To me, anyway. And amazingly enough, after all these decades and years of change, the Sapphire Dolls are still here on Broadway. Kind of amazing. Exactly, Mr. Fox. Exactly. There are cameras everywhere. But I just find it funny that she has to cover her face going up the wrong way of a one-way bike lane. And then, of course, we're coming into now the theater district and all the very sad closed theaters. I miss it. You missed a double R burger. was that what it was called? Mickey D's coming up. Yes, Mickey D's coming up on the right. Right. So that's right. The Roy Rogers Worcestershire sauce. Yes. Horsey sauce. It's called horsey sauce. Right, horsey sauce. Oh, this is the. He's still here. The guy who tells everyone to praise God or repent or die is across the street right now on his bullhorn. As they always are. Horsey sauce. That's right, horsey sauce. I think that might have been one of those things that I always wanted as a kid. Like all the time. I want the horsey sauce. I want the horsey sauce. Here's the old Stardust. But it's singing waiters and waitresses. Unfortunately, the Stardust will be closing. They could not survive the pandemic. So they will be closing for good in a few months. It's a shame, really. But yeah, that is the worst. Oh, the worst Mickey D's alongside with the one at X's at Delancey? Yes. The one on Essex and Delancey, and then there's another really bad McDonald's over on, was it 34th Street and 8th Avenue? The one that the New York Times did a news piece about. And then right over here, here's the Brill. This is the Brill building right here. Many, many famous American songs were created in that building right there. Kind of amazing. Oh yeah, the one on 34th Street is the one of Legends, Jim. You're talking about a place where drug deals happened out in the open and people shot up heroin everywhere, and it's a scary McDonald's. I don't know how it was doing during the pandemic though. But yeah, here's the Brill building right there. This is where Hal David and Burt Bacharach first met. This is where many people wrote music and songs that I'm starting to forget. But there's a great movie actually called, oh my God, Martin Scorsese had his office in this building. And there's a great documentary called The Scorsese Machine. And it takes place inside his office, inside the Brill Building. Colony Records, right down there where the CVS is. I miss Colony Records. That's where you used to get your nice sheet music for really cheap. I miss Colony Records. I miss and Coliseum Books up there on 57th Street. That's another place I miss. Remember the old Coliseum Books? Wow. Do we have like a live band here? Let's go get a Palin slice. So Sarah Palin said that this was the best Sbarro, or the best pizza she ever eaten. And Sbarro is not New York City pizza. But of course that's Sarah Palin. They got a live band here. Wow. At the Celtic Pub. Wow, okay, that's cool. And now, the bright lights of Broadway are now upon us. We are entering Long Acre Square. Oh my God, the Tower Records on 4th Street and Broadway, long gone. I miss that Tower Records very much. But here we are entering the belly of the beast. The infamous Times Square, renamed Times Square when the Times moves up here in 1904. Formerly Long Acre Square. Long Acre Square is where all the horses for the carriages used to live. Wasn't it Familia? No. She went to a Sbarro. She went to that Sbarro. Sarah Palin went to that Sbarro and said that was the best pizza she ever had. They're playing Watermelon Sugar. Oh, you know the song. They're playing Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. Okay. Rest in peace, Weeby Toys. Oh, yes. Weeby Toys. And no. You know what I'm missing here in Times Square? Virgin Record Store. I miss the Virgin Record Store that used to be here. But for God's sake, the ill-forgotten, the ill-taken Olive Garden is still freaking here. Let's see how it survives the pandemic. All right, let me mentally prepare here. Okay, here we go, guys. Sbarro is from Columbus. Columbus, Ohio. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so that's not even real pizza. It's like Domino's. It's not real pizza. All right, let's say hello to the Earth Cam. We do a little thing on Twitch all the time. It's called our little radio show. And this is one of the cameras that we look at all the time. There's our street cam here. Let's say hello to the street cam really quick. I look completely nuts in front of all these people. Let's get behind them. They're sitting. Wow, look at all these people here. So I'm a little nervous to be here, to be honest. Right, let's quickly say hello here. So there's the Earth Cam right there. Go to earthcam.com/New York/Times Square. That's the street cam. Hi, street cam. Okay, we move on. You ate the Olive Garden once and went and grabbed scalper tickets and sold Bowie at Roseland. That's a New York night right there. Oh wow, look at this. Got a lot of life going on here. We got people doing some kind of hip hop dancing here. People taking, if everyone wasn't wearing a mask, it would actually feel like normal times.
Try that. I just want you to see what happens after.
It's dancing and making their latest video. Is that Bumblebee over there? Look at this, we got Bumblebee over there. One of your favorite places in New York. I only come out here for you guys. I only come out here for the live stream. I avoid this place like the plague. Or unless I'm going to Broadway. Like Hamilton right down the block from here. I got to see Hamilton in previews. I had orchestra seats for $45. Everyone's like, I don't know about that show. Oh, these guys are out. Oh, wait. I like this guy over here. We got to see this guy playing on the pots and and then underneath this thing is an art piece, which sounds like a didgeridoo. Can you hear the didgeridoo? Can you guys hear the didgeridoo? Whoa. Lots of loud sounds. It almost feels normal out here. I'm not gonna lie. It almost feels normal. But look how empty the street is. This is how you know something's not right. Look how empty the street is. You see stranger on the bike, even on camera, exactly. Let's see our Times Square ball. I heard a Krispy Kreme is coming to Times Square. Just don't know when. Trying to get that ball into focus there, but trust me, that's a Times Square ball up there. But the new McDonald's is on that corner right over there. All right. I love it how they could like just stand in the middle of the street and take pictures. I love it. Oh, moving his office. Moving his office. All right, almost done with our tour. Here's 1515 Broadway, a building that me and Jim spent many an hour in. Viacom, the home of Viacom, the home of MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, and all them other channels. Oh, she's clapping to take other people's pictures. She's there to take your picture. Okay, if you don't want to take your you want your whole family in the shot. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. My God, what happened to Elmo? His head is decapitated. You went to Viacom too? Yeah. That's right, Total Request Live. I worked on the pilot of that show when it was called MTV Live. Not too many people. Yeah, too many people for your comfort, I know. But nowhere near normal, that's very true. These are not normal numbers, but considering what this place has been looking like since March, quite a lot of people here. I'm trying to just quickly move through here because to be honest, I really don't feel comfortable being here. So I'm just gonna kind of keep moving. Okay, we're getting to the subway. We end as we always do, in the subway. And do I have money on my Metro card? I just realized I might not have money on my Metro card. Which I guess we'll buy some Buy some tokens. Even though it's on the Metro card. We'll put money on the Metro card. They definitely need to put the ticker back. The news ticker usually is right there. And bloody hell, okay. They'll eventually put the news ticker back, I'm assuming, anyway. As people take their selfies. One last view of Times Square before we go underground. Crossroads of the world. The virtual petri dish that is Times Square. Is Coney Shack back open yet? No, they're not. A lot of the vendors are not open here in Times Square right now. Okay. You could be a hip hop dancer too. Just grab yourself a camera crew and start doing the Dougie. Okay. Time to go underground. Time to go underground. Your internet just crashed during 4G, using 4G now. Okay, we're almost done. We are almost done. We're gonna go underground now and hop on the subway. Yeah, I want to get out of Times Square. I do not feel comfortable out here. Actually, considering that all the yellow line trains are going local, I should take the D home, but I'll sit down. I'll take a little break. You went to the burger joint before entering there? Awesome. Here's 42nd Street. Let's go get in the subway here. Let's make sure we have money on the card here. Oh wow, look at this. I could get PPP. I could get some PPP from right here. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see here. Do I have money on my card to go home? Nope, 75 cents. Let's put money on the card. Oh boy. One of those times. One of those times where things are a little crazy in here. We're gonna put some value on the card. They don't have Omni here just yet. Well, Omni is here, but not the card. I don't think they've released the Omni card just yet. Okay. Got some money on the card. All right. So here's the Omni system. You could use your phone and different types of credit cards to tap in. And eventually we're gonna get a separate new Metro card called the Omni card. And yeah, no, you could use if your phone has like Apple Pay on it, your phone works just by itself. So I could use my phone to tap in, but I like using Metro card. All right. What, they're playing music down here? Unfortunately, this music shop down here and the subway station here is gonna close. They've lost too much business. It's very sad. All right. Oh man, that's a train. There's a train down here that I could take. I see a train down there. Oh, that's a queue. I could take a queue. I should take a queue to DeKalb. But I want to get to the front of the train. Oh. Well, here's my R train. My ride is here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a fun walking tour. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in. Thank you so much for indulging me around with this walk here. Do me a favor. Hug your loved ones. Cherish the moments. And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later, Chris. I'll see you later, Mr. Fox. See you later, Bruce. See you later, Norman and Jim and everyone who's tuning in. And Stuart. Later, guys. Later, Miriam. Later, residual math. You're more than welcome. I'll see you guys later. Oh, this is a cool shot. Later, guys.